evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, WHO delists Nigeria from polio endemic nations, advises Nigerian government on sustainability. Delta State Tribunal upholds election of Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, dismisses petitions filed by the candidates of the Labour Party and the All Progressives Congress. More controversy in the House of Representatives as members battle House leadership over juicy committees. And hundreds killed in Afghan-Pakistan earthquake, both nations mourn.
And on business news tonight, FBN Holdings announces 390 billion naira gross income, but says 2015 has been a challenging year so far.
And on sports news tonight, as Golden Eaglets prepare for the round of 16 match against Australia, coach Emmanuel Amuneke believes it will define their FIFA Under-17 World Cup campaign.
We begin tonight with this cherry news from the Federal Capital Territory that the World Health Organization has delisted Nigeria from the list of polio endemic countries. The regional director of the WHO, Dr. Mashidiso Muete, who is in Nigeria, broke the news to President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja. He urged the Nigerian government to sustain the efforts at eradicating polio from the country. Dr. Moeti also warned against complacency already displayed in some states in their efforts towards eradicating polio and other communicable diseases.
The WHO delegation was first received by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, before heading to the presidential villa where it announced the delisting of Nigeria from polio endemic nations.
We have been able to, score a point which will now delist us from the list of polio endemic countries. This is not the finality of that until the WHO Director General is able to make that pronouncement. Because when you say you have achieved, somebody must have to also endorse that.
Now, at the presidential villa, the regional director of the WHO announced the delisting and urged the government to sustain the efforts ahead of the 2017 target when Nigeria is expected to be declared polio-free.
On behalf of the Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Margaret Chan, who could not be present today due to another previous commitment and who conveys her apologies, I'm very honored and pleased to be here among you to congratulate the people and the government of Nigeria on the interruption of wild polio virus transmission and to officially inform that Nigeria has been removed from the list of polio endemic countries. However, it's very clear that even though polio transmission in Nigeria has been interrupted, we still have a long road to travel towards its eradication. We must ensure that in the next 2 years, no child is paralyzed in Nigeria due to polio.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari, who expressed his satisfaction on the current polio status, vowed to maintain the status and meet up with the 2017 target.
For 14 consecutive months, Nigeria has not recorded any new case of polio virus. This, as I had been briefed, is the first step towards certification of Nigeria as polio virus-free country by World Health Organization in the next 2 years. We are, however, not relenting as we are determined to achieve our collective goal of saving our children from further paralysis from polio. I want to assure you that there will be no complacency as we will maintain and improve our surveillance system as well as raise the childhood population immunity against polio virus to avoid any spread of the disease.
Nigeria has successfully interrupted polio transmission in the last 14 months. If the records are sustained till 2017, Nigeria will be completely certified as a polio-free country.
The federal government has filed an amended charge against the former National Security Advisor, retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki, at a federal high court in Abuja. Mr. Dasuki was on September 1st arraigned on a one-count charge of unlawful possession of firearms without license, but the prosecution has expanded the charges to include money laundering. The prosecution has also applied to the court for a secret trial of Mr. Dasuki and is in addition seeking protection for all its witnesses in the suit. When the charges were read in court, Mr. Dasuki pleaded not guilty. Our correspondent Amaka Okafor has more.
The federal government has amended the charges against the former National Security Advisor, retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki. The old charges of unlawful possession of firearms has been expanded to a 5-count charge of money laundering. The prosecution accused Colonel Dasuki of retention of $60,000 and another 5 million naira in his Abuja home, said to be proceeds of unlawful acts. He is also accused of being in possession of $150,000 and 37.6 million naira in cash in his Sokoto residence. At the proceedings, the prosecution requested for a secret trial and protection for all its witnesses in the case. The prosecution also applied for orders directing that the names and addresses of its witnesses should not be disclosed in any record or report of proceedings that may be accessible to the public, and that the witnesses be permitted to use pseudonyms in the course of the proceedings. Lawyer to the accused, Joseph Daudu, however, asked the court to dismiss the application for lack of merit and for being frivolous. He told Justice Ademola that the names of the witnesses were already in the public domain at the instance of the prosecution, adding that the application was a mere academic exercise that should not be granted by the court.
The prosecution amended the charge from 2 to 5. They asked for protective measures for witnesses, which we opposed. Ruling will be given on Wednesday. And then we are asking for a freedom to move around.
Justice Adeni Ademola adjourned to Wednesday to rule on the application. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
It was double victory for the Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa as the Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Asaba, a state capital, today upheld his election against the petitions by the Labour Party and the All Progressives Congress. In its judgment, the tribunal held that the APC could not prove that the governorship poll was characterized by irregularities, while it dismissed petition by the Labour Party saying it lacked merit. The tribunal ordered the petitioners to pay 50,000 naira to each of the respondents in the suit.
Graveyard silence at the Delta State multi-door courthouse, where for several months now the political parties have locked arms in a legal battle over the governorship elections in the state. It's Judgment Day, and the tense atmosphere here is a clear indication of how critical the matter at hand is. Outside the courtroom, security is watertight. On the inside, politicians are uptight waiting for the 0 hour. Soon, the 3-man tribunal takes their seat, led by Justice Nasser Gomin, and the judgment delivery begins. The proceeding goes on for over 3 hours. Eventually, the tribunal rules. It dismisses the petition filed by Chief Great Ogboro and the Labour Party, as well as that of Mr. Omero Ortega and that of his party, the All Progressives Congress, APC, challenging the victory of Senator Ifeanyi Okowa of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The petitioners had approached the tribunal alleging that the election of April 11 conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, was marred by corrupt practices and overvoting. The tribunal dismissed the petitions and awarded a sum of 50,000 naira each for the defendants against the petitioners. The judgment is met with instant reactions, and jubilant supporters of the winner take to dancing and singing. The parties in the matter differ on the outcome of the case.
As far as I am concerned, I am sure that this verdict given here today is not the true position of what we put before the tribunal.
It's one of those obnoxious judgments that we have been having in this state since 1999, and it cannot stand the test of time. We will definitely appeal this judgment.
we did not hijack, we did not snatch ballot boxes, and the result is what the tribunal has upheld today.
All the way, supporters of the governor marched through the Anwai Road to participate in the victory Thanksgiving service at the government house. For the governor, he believes warring time is over.
I call on my brothers, it is time for us to unite for the good of Delta. That's the key thing. We cannot continue going on with litigations. It's not in the best interest of our people.
The hand of fellowship the governor has extended, but the parties that have lost out on the case may not feel the same, as some of them are considering to fight to the very end.
In part two, after the break, FCT marks new legal year, decries shoddy prosecution of cases. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.